This is Dr. Anitra Shelton Quinn, school psychologist by training and trade, certified life coach, best-selling author, speaker, and I am so excited to have the opportunity to share with you today at the invitation of your super duper amazing school counselor, Mrs. Tammy Arby. Woo, let's give her a hand. She is awesome. Very good friend of mine. So today I want to talk to you about my field of study, my career. And before I get started doing that, first of all, let me just give you all an amazing shout out. Woohoo! You're awesome for tuning in this video. I know you're doing an amazing job doing school at home. So kudos to you. Keep up the great work. So I'm going to move right along into talking about what Miss Arby asked me to speak about today. So your first question is, how long have I been in my profession? I have been a school psychologist for 20 years, guys, 20 years. And it has been a wonderful journey. I would not take anything from it. It has been absolutely phenomenal working with amazing kiddos like yourself and just making people's lives better. Which leads me to the next question. What led to my career as a school psychologist? Well, I'll say this. There were always little things along the way that kind of let me know that I would somehow, in my career path, be working with people. And I didn't know if it was going to be children or adults or what have you, but I did know that even as a child, I really liked talking to people. I liked helping people. I liked having that one little thing that makes you feel better when you're feeling really crummy. And so those were indicators that I probably end up in a helping field in some capacity. And in terms of psychology, it was very interesting. Did not determine that I was going to be a school psychologist or even a psychologist for that matter until I was in college. Okay. And I remember taking some of those classes that you have to take, and psychology is one of those classes you have to take when you go to college. Take introductory psychology, which I've had a chance to teach before many times over. But in that class, I became significantly intrigued by what the professors were saying, what they were talking about. It was so interesting to me how the brain works, how the mind works, what makes us do what we do and feel how we feel. And that was so interesting to me. And so then by the time I had a chance to actually hear the plethora of stories that my psychology professor would tell us, I was already sold. I had bought in. That was my field of study. And so that's what pulled me into the field and just wanting to genuinely help people. Now, there were also some other indicators. Like I said before, I like talking, and school psychology in general, is a field where you're going to do a lot of writing, a lot of talking, a lot of speaking, because that's what it's about as it relates to the service profession of psychology, because there are other types of psychology that are more research based and not so much as service fields. But anyways, when it comes to the type of education, now I will tell you this. I did complete my 4 years of undergraduate. There are different types of education that you can get in college. You guys probably already know this. You can get an undergraduate degree and a graduate degree. So I did my undergraduate degree, which was 4 years. And then after that, I went directly into a master's program, which is a part of the graduate degree process. So I got a master's of science, and that was in gerontology, but as I moved forward, which I was going into geropsychology initially, and my path kind of got changed. I tell people the field chose me. What does that mean? That means that there were different things that happened along the path of my life that pulled me into this field. I remember one year before I'd even decided on going into school psychology, I was still very much into clinical psychology, working with the geriatric or older population. And I had taken a year off because I had a very ill family member. So going to stay back in Mississippi, which was far away from where I was in school at, went back home to do that. And I got introduced to this amazing field through working at a community counseling center. And it just pulled at my heart, you know. Some things will pull at your heart and you will know that this is a part of my destiny. And you know you're in the right place doing the right thing to accomplish what you were designed to do. And so that's how I ended up getting into the field and recognizing what I needed to do. So I completed my master's degree, and then from there I completed another master's in school psychology. And then after that, I completed a doctorate degree in school psychology. And so I was in school a number of years. Now that when you ask the question, how many years does it take? You're gonna have to get that 4-year degree. That's your undergraduate degree. That's kind of the foundation of being a college student and being an adult and learning all of the things that you need to learn in terms of identifying and working through the bare necessities of a educational career path, which takes you to higher education. And so then, after doing that and being in the crux of working with kids, I realized that I really, really liked it. And so it took me the 4 years, and then 2 years for the gerontology master's, and then 2 more years for the you guys, I don't want to discourage you, because it can be a shorter process. It really just depends on where you go. So generally speaking, it's your 4 years undergrad and 2 years for your master's, and I say two to 3 years for a master's degree, and then a doctorate's probably going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 additional years, depending on where you go and the type of program that it is. There are different types of doctorates in psychology, and even in school psychology, the programs differ. So you really want to do your research and find what's going to be the best fit for you as it relates to what you want to do and where you see yourself when you get out. So, having said that, how do I use math, writing, reading, and business? Whoa, that's cool. Okay, so truth is, I use all of those. I use math because one of the areas of one of the requirements of a school psychologist is to do assessments or evaluations. So I have to get all of this information on these rating scales or surveys, and I have to be able to add it up to get to find out how much of the person is displaying, or how much anger, how much depression, and that kind of thing. So I use math quite a bit in that respect. I have to also be able to use writing, because I have to write psychological reports. I have to do a lot of reading, because I have to be able to read up on the diagnosis that I'm investigating. So there's a lot of all of that. And then for business, I think that's a very good question. Business is amazing because, as you heard me say, I do a lot of stuff. I'm not only a school psychologist, but I use my school psychology training and mental health background to do a lot of other things. And so having a strong understanding of business and finance and all of that is imperative when you start setting up your own businesses as an entrepreneurial person, or an entrepreneur, if I can say entrepreneur. And so when you do that, you have to have an understanding of how business works. And so look, guys, I hope this video has been very helpful to you. I hope that you have gained something here that's helped you to identify what you want to do, where you want to go, and the impact you plan to make on the world. Because I know you're awesome, because you have one of the most amazing counselors in the whole wide world, Miss Tammy Arby. Talk to you soon, guys. Have an amazing rest of the school year. Bye-bye. This is Dr. Anitra Sheldon Quinn. Talk to you soon.